Well, open your damn eyes in. It's the old-timey country down-home red state update podcast and them. Coming to you from a bunker underneath Jackie's Market in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And here they are, both of them.
Hi there, welcome to Red State Update. It's Jackie Brawls.
Folks, people, it's Dunlap, Jackie's best friend.
Well,
Jackie's told me many times that
my oldest friend. I think you used to not be the oldest friend, but a buddy of mine passed away last week. So I guess you go back the farthest now, because
because you don't have many friends.
Longest friend, or what? Longest or oldest? How do you say it?
Oh, like your longest living. Who was your friend that passed away?
You're old, but not as old as me. I'm just saying most people I know, but they're all gone or whatever.
What about people you went to school with? You got any old school buddies?
School buddies? No.
That you knew from when you was in school?
No, I don't know. I don't keep in touch with nobody. That's what people on the computer do nowadays. He said, I know somebody. I don't want to talk to people I went to high school with. He said, you can find up all your. I never went to no reunions, no how, and I don't want to do it on the computer, real life, either way. So I know everybody from my fifth grade. I found them all on the book face, and I know them all. Well, good for you, I guess.
Do you count family as friends, like cousins?
Well, I've known them a long time, yeah. But have they been around, me as long as you have? Probably not. So I guess I don't know. Longest I've been around me, the longest, within like 5 feet of me, I guess.
What about Mrs. Brawls?
Well, I've known her longer than you, that's for sure. But, half a day, I guess about half and half. But I didn't think of her as my friend. I thought of her as my wife. It's a difference.
Well,
she's my friend too, yes. But she's my wife. And, she's been close, in the evenings. Now, all the time, she got put up with me all damn day now because of, quarantine and everything else. But that's my wife and my friend. But we were just saying friend. So as long as the oldest, the one that's been around me the most, that ain't my wife, that ain't dead yet.
Daytime friends and nighttime lovers. That's what y'all are.
Right.
Have you ever called her your lover?
It's none of your business what I would call each other amongst ourselves. She's my wife. Why would I call her that?
This is my lover, Mrs. Brawls.
No, it's my wife. Here's my wife. That should cover that part of, air without having to say it like that. That covers it all. Friends, whatever else you want to say.
I just think that sometimes you need to clarify.
Why do you
if you're at a fancy party, you would say, hello, my name is Jackie Brawls, and this is my friend, wife, and lover, Mrs. Brawls.
Don't need to. Wife covers all that. Why add you just superfluous on top of it? No, you just say, and my wife. They should hope be able to figure out the other, and if it ain't the other two, then your marriage ain't working out too well, which I know a lot of that going on too, yeah.
Well, with this COVID, they said, I heard that divorces was going to spike or that babies was going to spike. And I guess both could happen at the same time.
By even out, yeah, I'd say, yeah. Or this, if one of them gets COVID and dies, that negates both of those, don't it?
I'm sorry about your friend, Jackie. It's not good out there right now. It's not a time of feeling safe, healthy, or Tennessee, one of the worst places in the world. The world.
It made top of the world ratio of people to land and all that. It's bad everywhere, and it's gonna get worse. That's what I'm trying to get my head around, because every time the numbers keep going up. This many people, this many minutes, and this many hours have it, and it's always, good God, how many? And I don't have all the stats in front of me, but they ain't good. And I know worse than the world. I don't know how do you get worse than the world? That's it. They got it on Mars or wherever. I don't know. Worst in the world. That I don't. It's don't get worse than that, as far as I know.
We have strong leadership in this country.
No.
Has Trump mentioned? He does. He gets on Twitter and he tweets about how everybody's fucking up but him.
Hey. Well, recently, concerning this, which granted, he don't spend a whole lot of time talking about COVID.
Not a lot, right?
No, but COVID. But today, well, I don't know if it's today, yesterday, or the day before. Recently, the most recent thing he said about it is that the death rates exaggerate. All these numbers I just mentioned, worse than world, that's exaggerated. Doctor, of course, he said this before. Last time he said doctors make more money, the more people die. I ain't never known a doctor that way. It don't make a bit of sense to me. It seems like if you save people, more people want to be your doctor. If you're a doctor and you make money every time somebody dies, people gonna quit coming to you. But he said, and we know people are dying left and right. I know some people, it gets closer and closer to you every time every week as time progresses and nothing gets better and only worse. It hits you personally more and more. You hear about old friends. You hear about somebody getting sick. You hear about somebody being in the hospital. It's crazy as hell what it is, and nobody doing anything about it. In fact, they're making it worse because it's just Christmas and New Year's. And everybody go, I know somebody, she, bless her heart, she's the nicest person in the world. Saw her saying something on the computer saying, I got a quarantine. I ain't going to say no names on there. I got a quarantine. Because I got it, my daddy got it, and I was around him. Where were you around him? Oh, Christmas. Well, why'd you go over there? And now they got some super duper COVID, what do they call it?
Super duper COVID, I think is what they call it. Sneaky COVID.
Sneaky COVID. It's already sneaky. If this kind of sneak around a mask, what's it do?
It's so... honestly, I don't know. I just see some tweets and some headlines like, shit, this new COVID, fuck. I'm like, goddamn, there's one that's more, it's easier to catch. I think it hurts you worse. It may not be, I guess it's...
Well, it don't need to hurt you any worse. If it kills you, again, worse than the world. It don't hurt you don't worry about it. It don't hurt you no worse than the regular kind. Well, the regular kind's killing 1,000, 2,000 people a day.
I guess it can hurt you worse if it kills you and then started spreading lies about you after you was gone and you can't defend yourself.
Well,
but as far as I know, that's not. I ain't checked the CDC website, but as far as I know, that is not happening. It is merely easier to catch. It does not come to your funeral and say, I always thought he was a real SOB myself. You should hear what he said about his kids when they wasn't in the room. Or whatever. He didn't. He give his daughter a can of beans and a can opener. Said, figure this shit out yourself. None of that. Just regular ass, easier to catch. Get a vaccine. Everybody needs to go out there and get that vaccine.
Well, I'm supposed to be on a list. I will say this, but somebody had to tell it to me. It wasn't like a state told me. Didn't they email if you're this age or older, you can go get the thing.
If you're over 75, you don't know how to use the email.
Well, that's true. But somebody had to send me that, which I didn't understand. But nobody said it out loud. Rutherford County, evidently, they schedule it. They're doing. But if it weren't for somebody letting me know, I'd have never known about it. Governor Lee ain't said a word about it. I ain't seen the mayor. Nobody talk about it. Like you said, if you ain't on the computer, which I am, I've been more on the computer since this COVID than I ever have in my life, and I like it less and less every time.
Let me tell you something. It's impossible to communicate with people over 75 because nobody wants to talk to them. Here's what you're going to tell. Shit, I got to tell Uncle Frank to go down to the health department. Hey, Uncle Frank, did you know that they give Mike Pence an envelope at Bush's funeral telling him they was about to arrest all the child molesters and he's one of them?
Wow.
QAnon issues. Yeah. Who wants to talk to Uncle Frank? If you can't get hold of him, you either got to run a commercial during Fox News
Yeah.
or OAN, which I think you can pick up pretty cheap, honestly. Or you got to run a letter to the editor in the damn local newspaper.
The news journal should have told me. Now, I said I'm scheduled, but I'm scheduled after my wife. Now, I'm of a certain age, yeah, but she's of a certain age and you know, pre-existing condition, sick on top of it. She's supposed to get it first up everybody, you know. So hopefully I got all that straightened out. We'll see. I'm scheduled, so we'll see what happens when I go there. Of course, then now, if they got you got to get another one, right? Got to get 2 of them.
You got to get 2 of them.
Well, they said over in England, where this new super duper come from, they said over there, they said, well, we might not be able to give y'all a second one. Well, what the hell did you give them the first one for? If it don't work without both of them, why did
people mad at, like, why is it something you got to do it twice? That's stupid. I'm like,
it is stupid. I'll say that, you know.
But shoes.
That's true. You need 2 shoes, gloves.
You need 2 shoes. You
gloves,
put one shoe on every morning and then another one. Gloves.
Now, some people have had an accident or born different, and that's fine. I ain't picking on y'all, but most people glasses same way. 2 eye, you want 2. Don't want to walk around like Monopoly Man thing in the eye. You want 2 of them on each eye.
I'd do a Monopoly Man. Monocle.
You couldn't afford it. You couldn't afford it. You wouldn't know where to go to get one, and you couldn't afford it if you.
What, a monocle?
Yeah.
Hell, I can afford a monocle. Shit. I need to borrow a little money.
He's supposed to be rich. That's what I always thought. He's showing off. Look at my, I don't, fancy. Of course, you think if you showing off, you'd really want to show off and get 2, like big, both of my eyes. I've got 1 for each eye, but I never understood that part of it. But he's still showing off.
That's just sunglasses.
Huh?
That's just glasses.
Well, yeah.
If you got 2 monocles, look, you don't have to go down. The thing is, people say, oh, I've heard it a million times. I could never afford a monocle. I might as well just give up. Fuck, I'm just going, my life's over.
Watch your mouth.
Squandered my potential. Like, no, man, don't get hung up on the priciest ass monocles. Just go down. Just get a reading monocle at Walmart and just make sure you got a fancy looking thread. Maybe bedazzle it. Wear that monocle out. People will get the idea. Oh, monocle man, here it comes. All right, I didn't know you had a monocle, son. Yep, I got a monocle. What that set you back? $700, $800? Yeah, I don't know. I don't keep track of these little piddly ass expenses.
You get one from a costume store, which I think you did at one time or another. If I remember years ago, we used to do YouTubes, whatever it was. You used to wear it on there to be silly for something, but it wasn't real. It was a plastic one for a little boy trying to dress up as Monopoly Man, which I didn't know children loved doing that so much. They loved dressing up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you went to Trunk or Treat this year, quarantine church parking lot. Half of them was dressed up. Like, half of them had monocle dressed up something else.
Well, there's a silly little plastic one. It ain't real glass in it. Those are play acting ones. And not a real one going to run your back a little bit. Yeah.
You just got to you just got to act like you got a real monocle.
Oh, well.
You know, there's a super villain in the comic books called the Monocle.
Yeah.
I don't know what, I think maybe he zaps you with his monocle. But that's got to be the worst super villain. There's a lot of bad super villains, but I'm just the Monocle.
Well, I
am the Monocle.
Whatever cartoon, funny book idiot, the lucky Parker Brothers, whatever called, didn't sue the hell out of them. Monopoly Man, ripping him off. Is it Parker Brothers? What's it called? All the people made the game. Something in Parker Burgers. What is it?
Yep, Parker Burgers.
Parker Burgers games, because they made all of them, didn't they? They made Monopoly. They made, remember, they all brought to you by this back at Island, revealing my age. Before people had video game or anything, you had to get something out, a bunch of pieces scattered all over the place. You wouldn't believe it. Youngers wouldn't believe it. But but Parker Brothers, one that made all the game, Monopoly, well, the Sorry, Hungry Hippo game, and chess.
Yep, they made chess.
Yeah, anything where a board, you laid that checkers too, but anything you opened up, put a board down and get a bunch of little this or that, whether it's a little dog, a little piece, a little something, But they did all that.
Queens?
I don't know what kind of business they are in now. I don't know what kind of shape they in. Probably went under because I don't know who does that nowadays.
If this was 20 extra minutes over on our Patreon, I'd go to Google right now and spend about 15 of them minutes reading about Parker Brothers online, but it's not. Y'all paid nothing for this, and so you get our full attention.
Well, I'm going to make sure, write it down so when we do the 20 extra minutes, it'll be
We won't have time. Last 20 extra minutes we talked about the goose and the damn Scrooge.
That's Christmas one, yeah.
That's Christmas, but a couple people wrote to us on Patreon. Guy Lancaster, one of them, said, y'all, it's a turkey. It ain't a goose he gives them.
Oh, yeah.
So we got to deal with all this over on 20 extra minutes today. So we're going to be talking more about Scrooge, goose, and turkey over on 20 extra minutes.
One of them cartoons where it said goose. One of them I know I seen.
Don't get mad yet.
Well, I ain't mad yet. We'll talk about it later. Oh, yeah, by the way, yeah, Christmas. I forgot. Happy New Year, everybody.
Oh, yeah, Happy New Year, everybody. It's turning out great so far.
Yeah.
That Facebook you talked about, Weezer's daddy, we got COVID. Did you hear about Miss Alma turned 100, and they was going to have a big party for her at the church, and they said, no, that's too dangerous. We go to our old folks' home. Like, well, that's too dangerous, too. Like, well, okay, we go stand outside her damn window at the old folks' home, and she'll see how much. Like, that's too dangerous. It's the worst in the world, Tennessee. Worst in the world. Worst in the world. She going to have to turn 100 without knowing how much she's loved. And she has survived COVID. 100 years old. It don't make no sense. If I was making up a list of the people who should have died from it, it would look very different from the real list.
Why?
But we're going to go. Sometimes it's like, really? She's okay, but that kid, but not that she should not be okay. Everybody should be okay. I feel like there's been a lot of mismanagement. I don't want to blame it all on, but Ms. Alma's fine. She's at the age of nearly 100. She survived it. And they were going to have a party, but it's too dangerous. And now she's turned 100. She survived COVID. Can you believe it? She did not get a party because it was too dangerous. Her brother come down and took her to a steakhouse.
Okay, well, at least she got, yeah.
But she can't eat steak because she dropped her dentures in the damn pinto beans.
Oh, hell. Well, if you live to be 100, these are the kind of things no offense, but you need to look forward to because that's most of what I'm guessing is going to be. So I ain't in a hurry to get there, but I ain't got no say in it.
I don't know why. I heard that story secondhand. I don't know why she didn't just fish around in them pinto beans to get her dentures out. Maybe didn't know she dropped them and she threw the pinto beans out to feed the cats or something. I mean, she got more money. She can get more dentures. I don't know. I guess, and I hope nobody got.
Might have been bothered.
I don't know that you
could have been in the mouth the wrong way or something. These are bothering me. Get it out. I'm ready to eat. I don't want them in here.
I don't know the whole story. I don't know that 100% you can't get it again. So I don't know if I'd be wanting to trot my 100-year-old aunt. What was it? I don't know if it was a brother or nephew. How old would her brother be?
He'd be old if that's the same Alma we're talking about.
Hell, I don't know. Nobody should be going to a steakhouse. We should be paying the steakhouse to not make steaks. We've done that in this country for years and years in other industries. Why can't we just give steakhouse some don't make steaks money?
Not permanently, just for a little while. You just
for a little while.
For a few months. 3-4 months tops, maybe. Here's some, you pretend you're still making steaks. Here's some money behind. Just don't make any.
Anyway, just happy birthday, Miss Alma. I did want to, here we are talking about the terrible, awful, and I hope everybody's doing okay. I know everybody's lives is touched by this in one way or another. We're talking about coronavirus again. Jackie, we had breaking news when we started doing this. We got this phone call come out of Donald Trump, and I don't know if you knew this. I'd had my suspicions, but I think the president is crooked.
Well, yeah, he is. Yeah.
I think when he gets on the phone, now look, some people get loaded and call people up. Say, I'm sorry, I should never let you go in high school or whatever. They call you, I'm getting on, Granny, I'm getting back on track. I'm going to be in church Sunday. Don't you worry about it. He calls people up and just commits crimes. He does the crimes on Twitter, and then he also does them on his rallies. And people are like, it's funny, or it's annoying, but I just block him. But when he gets on these phone calls, people suddenly take it real serious. And they released a whole hour of it. At first, it was just 4 minutes. Then they released a whole hour of it. And the first 15 minutes is just him sounding like an old person who believes conspiracy theories. But the conspiracy theories are about him. It'd be like Obama, 15 minutes of a phone call going, yeah, and then his brother. Like, he knows that it's not true, doesn't he? But he doesn't. I don't know. Look, very confusing.
He makes up.
I'm more scared after it.
That's what happens. Some of it he makes up, some of it he don't. Either way, he sits there, or he sees it, or hears it, somebody tells him, or he just makes it up. Probably a little bit of all of those things. He says it out loud on the Twitter, says it out loud on TV, wherever. Man, he watches TV all day when he ain't doing that. And when he's watching TV, he hears it come right back to him. What he said earlier, there it is. Well, now I know it's true because he said it. If Fox News is saying it, then it is true, on and on, or whatever. What's it called? Whatever channel it's on. It just, pours gasoline on itself, never stops, just keeps going.
I wish that were the case. If you want 15 minutes of the least clear explanation of what conspiracy theorists think has happened, Trumpy election stealing conspiracy theorists, then listen to the first 15 minutes of this phone call. Mark Meadows introduces everybody, and then Trump just goes rambling for 15 minutes. It's sort of like a rally, but with more threatening and coercion.
Well, he talking to them personally. You did a crime. You did. You, right there.
What's the problem? What's the problem here? Like,
I need 11,000 votes. That's how many I need. I need 11,000 votes. Where are they at? Give them here. Come on, let's go. Let's get it going.
I know we won by hundreds of thousands of votes, but all we need is 11,780. Let's get it going. Yeah, let's ramp this up. He threatens the election. He says everybody's going to be mad at him for not doing the election. He basically says they're breaking the law, but they're not. He doesn't really say which law. It's got a new lawyer on there. What's her name? Cleta.
Which
really sounds like if you did a gender swapped Dukes of Hazzard, you'd have Cleta and Ina. Boss at Hog. I mean, that's how they would have done it back then.
That sounds pretty good, though. He should have.
I'd watch it.
Yeah, me too. Maybe
get rid of the flag.
Yeah, I'm about to say the Georgia flag.
Or maybe two Cletuses is a Cleta.
What is it?
If you got more than one Cletus, it's a Cleta. I don't know. I always had trouble finding the Cleta.
I don't know what you're saying now.
So there was a phone call, and at first I'm like, shit, they got him now. We got it. How many times have I had that feeling, Jackie, over the last 4 years? Before, remember the damn bus? He did the grab him call. Remember that one? It's he's on his way out now.
They impeached him. Senator Collins said, he learned his lesson. I know he learned his lesson this time. He did. He learned a lesson. Y'all let him do whatever the hell he wants to do. That's what you've done over and over again. That's what they're going to continue to do. It's going to be disgraceful, despicable. I've heard it called every witch's thing on the news. Them people just outraged, mad as hell. On the 5th, what is it? On the 5th or 6th, all these Republicans going to get together in the House, going to say, electoral vote. No, not going to certify that. Whatever that means. I guess they get to squabble about it or whatever. And then in the Senate, Ted Cruz and this Haley, whatever he is.
When did this happen? When did I have to start caring about this dude? Now it's like, this Ichabod-looking motherfucker going to be a damn.
Why do you think he did it? But so that you got to. That's why he did it. He wants to be president. Ted Cruz still wants to be president. Funny, but he still wants to be president. So he said, well, if I'm going to be president, I'm going to need these people who love this racist, bigot, criminal, mob boss. I got to have them. So I got to keep kissing. You know, the man who called my wife ugly, said my daddy killed John Kennedy. This is a man I got to protect, do everything I can. And he's going to turn on you on the end. If I have no idea what's going to happen in the coming 17 days. We got 17 days from now, and President
tomorrow. I will tell you, tomorrow they're going to give Devin Nunes a Medal of Freedom.
Well, there you go. Sure.
Now, by the time y'all are hearing this, it may have already happened, or maybe it was just a rumor somebody floated to take some of the pressure off this phone call everybody's listening to. But Twitter was saying tomorrow he's going to announce Devin Nunes gets the Medal of Freedom. What does the Medal of Freedom? Can you turn that back in if you have one at this point?
I would have done it after Rush Limbaugh got one.
He signed off air.
Well, good.
Permanently, probably.
I'm okay, Pat. I ain't happy that he's sick or whatever, but he don't have to be on the radio, you know.
Happy's not a good word, but it's a word.
Sure.
11 senators. Harley Cruz the worst. We're going to have to go through all this. The Proud Boys coming to damn. Say everybody for the MAGA March Trump the 6th this Wednesday, D.C. I hope that just peters out like everything else. Who knows anymore? Everybody said, don't worry. Everything is going the way it's supposed to be. It's scary, but see, we're still working out. This is crazy. He should not be calling the Ratsburger to. At first, I thought, what's the game he's running? He's trying to get money. True. He's trying to carve out a career. Sure. He's trying to make sure all of his followers don't believe that Biden won, give them no legitimacy, especially when they pursue him for criminal charges and his family. Okay, right. But it really sounded like he believed a lot of this stuff, which doesn't even make sense because nothing he said made sense. But that track. So I'm not sure anymore. I don't know how everything that people say is supposed to happen. I still don't 100% know. What if people just don't do what they're supposed to do? What's Paul Ryan going to come out and shame them into doing it?
Well, they everything you read, like you said, everything is on news and newspaper. They preface it, whatever, prefake whatever. They say, now it ain't going to make a difference when they do this. Now, they can do it all they want. Joe Biden's still going to be president. No matter what they do, they can drag it out. They can do this, but there's no change. I'm like you. We'll find out in 17 days.
I'm not trying to scare anybody. I'm sure everybody listens like, y'all idiots. I like it. This is how things work for me a lot of times is when I hear somebody else say it, that's when I go, no fucking way, you idiot.
Watch your mouth.
Get on board with reality. So hopefully that's what we're doing for y'all right now is we're saying this, I don't know. I think he's going to stay in there. And y'all like, calm down. So hopefully we reassured you. through our fearful ignorance.
I ain't scared of it, and to be honest, I ain't mad, and I don't know if something happened when he come out and said the election was fake the first time, because we knew he was going to do it. Everybody knew he was telling everybody he's going to do it. He's going to do it. You watch and see. He's going to do it. As soon as he found out, he come out and did it, and that made him mad as hell. I don't know why, because he did it, I guess. But since then, he pardoning people left and right, all of his buddies, and I'm like, yeah, well, sure, yeah. Of course he is. This phone
That's
call,
what he's going to do.
I can't believe the president. I cannot believe a president. But yet, yeah, you can. Let's do it. How's this any different in Ukraine or whatever else? It's the same. It's always the same. And people make a huge fuss over it, and then nothing happen over it.
There's something different about him actually doing it, getting on the phone and doing it. Instead of like in my head, he was like, I'm going to get all this money. Send out them emails. Get Giuliani to go somewhere and get all the lawyers that nobody believes are actually lawyers to go do things. And I'm just going to pout and get mad at the decorations at Mar-a-Lago. That's what I thought was happening. But hearing him now at this point, still calling up Georgia and being like, y'all go in jail. I'm still president. That's all I'm saying. We're going to get it one way or another. You can help. You can go to jail. See y'all on the 6th. We'll come down there with a bunch of Proud Boys. They said they're going to dress in black this time, like Antifa. You won't even know which is which. Y'all be like, oh, here's trouble with Antifa. What? And it turns out it's the Proud Boys. Y'all going to jail now. Because boys is the police now in 2021. What happened or not? I don't know. I just did not think he was taking it as serious. And when I say taking it seriously, again, you have to remember the first 15 minutes of most everything Trump says in this phone call is nonsense, crazy talk. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense when he says a minute, when he talks for a minute, that minute makes no sense. From the beginning of that minute, you're trying to follow it, and he goes way off the rails. I mean, you all have elderly relatives on Facebook. He's living embodiment of Facebook at this point. I don't know why they're so mad at Facebook. They are Facebook. I mean, the next step for him would be the living embodiment of Nextdoor. He's all, I don't know. I'm at Pennsylvania Avenue, and I heard some loud explosions. Actually, he kind of is doing that. I don't like the looks of those black guys across the street. Like, he's basically doing that. Didn't he do that? That's what he did all summer. I think they're up to something. He is that too. So, okay, he's Nextdoor and Facebook. Oh, man. Are we going to survive this?
You don't have to believe a word he says. It's all nonsense. It don't make any sense. But by God, it doesn't have to make sense to prove that he's a fighter. He is a fighter. The president ain't going to lay down to facts, knowledge, the law. He is a fighter. He will go down fighting.
He'll fight everything.
You know what I wish?
Reality itself.
What I wish I could see, which I never will. I know it, and I ain't hoping for it, but I tell you something would be nice to see. You remember when he told the police, this is, I think, when he's running, I don't think he'd even president yet, and he said, I wish y'all, when you put him in the car, I wish you'd hit that head just a little hard when you put him in the back of that police car. Y'all put him in there. I wish a police officer was doing that to him sometime, but that ain't going to happen. No. It ain't ever going to happen. All these people, because I saw people saying, "Oh, look now, he can self-pardon." Well, listen, now that's crazy talk, self-pardon, but ain't one legitimate news source ain't not talked about it. They all have. He gonna self-pardon. He gonna do this, but all these things were in the news today saying, "Well, he broke the law in Georgia on that phone call. He can't self-pardon himself from that." What? Can't nobody gonna do anything.
Nobody gonna do nothing.
He don't even have to self-pardon because ain't nobody gonna do nothing. I don't get mad. I don't get worked up. It's just like, well, of course he did that. Of course he did this. I mean, I ain't saying you shouldn't tell us about it. Of course, do your job. You're supposed to tell the news. You're supposed to, if you got the tape leaked to Washington Post, you're supposed to play it. I understand. Do your job. Yeah. But how I'm supposed to respond to that at this point? Well, I learned a long time ago, way back. Just like, well, it don't really matter now, does it?
People saying impeach him again. I guess.
He don't give a damn. You put him in the history books that much more. Impeached twice. He'd love it. Do it. He's a fighter.
By Swamp. Yeah, fight. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to say anymore, which is bad because we have a podcast about politics.
You're supposed to talk about it now, but I'm just saying, well, yeah, he did that. And what else did he do? Oh, yeah. I mean, that's what the news doing. Sure, some of them get all worked up like Jake Tapper. Like, it's a disgrace or what. Yes, I agree. It absolutely is a disgrace. It is illegal. On and on. Why am I going to get that's your job, I guess. You get on there, you scream and holler. I'm kind of screaming holler a little bit, but I can't do it like I used to, where my face will turn red and just a vein to come up out of my forehead. I can't do that no more. Getting up in age, my blood pressure, I don't need to be doing it. And there ain't nothing he's done that can get me like that no more. He already did it. I'm lucky my vein still ain't bulging from what he did a week after being elected president. What he said to people when he was campaigning. I should have had 4 or 5 strokes by now.
I'm not sure you ain't. I mean, you been to a doctor?
Well, not since this all started. Hell no. I don't know doctor. Yeah.
Exactly.
I ain't got to go. Yeah. I don't know. I'm optimistic. Again, there seems to be something working in the country. Every damn courtroom is any of this stuff's gone to, and we know damn well that they appointed some crazy conservative judges. Everybody knows they did. That's all they did. Really, that's what Mitch McConnell he breaks the law, and I put another judge on. Break the law, put another judge. I mean, that's what they did for 4 damn years. Even they don't have nothing to do with this.
So all the defense secretaries come out, said that the election was over. They sent a letter out. But then you got 11 senators going to contest it on Wednesday. So I don't know. I mean, does it matter what Donald Rumsfeld says now? The Trump people hate Donald Rumsfeld.
Nobody give a damn what any of those people say. I mean, nobody.
No. Dick Cheney comes out and says, yeah, it's over. But, both Tennessee senators are going to contest the election.
Of course.
On Wednesday. Tommy Tuberville's going to contest the election. Ron Johnson. I'm not even going to read their dumb names.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, they should go down in history for something, but right now nobody give a damn. Maybe something will turn around where we care all of a sudden. But again, like you get about half and half. Like I said, every courtroom done thrown it out. Supreme Court, he stacked that, put as many people as he could. Didn't make no damn difference. So something's holding up barely by a thread. Now, it don't seem to stop him from doing nothing. I guess the questions everybody's going to ask is, will it stop him? Any of this stuff stop him from breaking the law, being a criminal? Will him not being president make him stop? 17th. Now, he ain't ever going to think he's not president. He gonna go to the grave thinking he's president. He can't handle it any other way. But does that mean he's going to keep doing this?
But just because he ain't president doesn't mean he wasn't president. I mean, people like to protect presidents in this country. You're hardly ever going to really get a president down. I mean, everybody's like, we got to go after him. We got to teach him a lesson. This is going to happen again and again and again. But nobody wants to see it. I mean, he's a good test of it because if there's a president people want to see in jail, it's him.
I remember
except for all the people.
Nixon now, but a lot of people want to see Nixon in jail too.
And he didn't go to jail, and what everybody do? Let's go listen to the Bee Gees now. Oh, here comes a new wave.
Did anybody
Rocky IV is out.
Some people.
I'm doing the whole history of America.
It's in the 80s.
Yeah, well, Rocky IV, and then I guess it would be Stakeout and another Stakeout, and then Home Alone, and then Forrest Gump, and then here comes.
That's all 90s there. That's
Armageddon, 80s. And then 10 Things I Hate About You.
What was that new Wonder Woman? She's in the 80s, right?
Man, I tell you what, I don't know if there's cancel culture, but there definitely is mob reviewing. Did you hate Wonder Woman? Did you watch that yet?
I looked at it. I like Wonder Woman. Oh, it's fine. I mean, it didn't make no sense like the rest of those movies to me, but it's fine, I guess. She jump around, she run fast, she hit somebody in the face, used a lasso. That's what I go to see him to see, and then she did it. So I guess I like it fine. It come on the TV, I can watch it at home. Sure, why not?
I wasn't gonna get. I had a whole spiel on Wonder Woman, and then this Trump phone call comes out. I'm like, why is anybody talking about anything else? And then as soon as we start talking, I'm like, all right, because nothing matters.
Yep,
nothing matters.
It should matter. It ain't like he's giving up. No, damn well should matter. He should go. He breaking the law on that phone call over and over again. Lucky for him, talking crazy ain't illegal yet. Maybe it will be after he's gone. I don't know. Is he going to be gone? I don't know. But he breaking the law, saying, I need this election. You do this. All that. Same thing he did. Ukraine on the phone. It's a perfect phone call. He got tons of perfect phone calls. Probably a bunch we ain't even heard yet that somebody got on a tape is going to put out after, he dead or whatever. And he broke the law there too. Yeah, well, sure he did. People who break the law and get away with it, and it helps them out, however which way, they're going to keep doing that. They just going to keep doing it and doing it and doing it until somebody tells them you can't break the law no more. I mean, that's what half a conservative movement is mad about. He 3 strikes you out, on and on, all these terrible things, put people behind bars. I'll get it. But he's supposed to be law and order, whatever it is. Law and order president, breaks the law over and over again. Nothing happened to him. Nothing that the Democrats weren't already going to do to him anyhow.
So I hope he loses, and he lost. I hope he leaves. I hope he leaves without any trouble. I hope this turns into what I thought it was before, where he's just grifting people. This is still bad. Like before this phone call, I figured we'd just talk about how Republicans said fuck democracy.
Hey.
And how that kind of, even the ones who are not just Ted Cruz, who, listen, one great outcome of this would be everybody who's running for president, thinks they're running for president in 2024, gets hurt by this, not in real life, not injured, but gets hurt by this.
Yeah, reputation, whatever.
Has to slink off the stage. Holly, because I do not want to see any more pictures of Ted Cruz hunting. It looks like he just poured a bunch of thickening gravy in a camo coveralls and give it a little beard. Like, I don't want to see any more of him pretending to hunt. So if Cruz going away would be great. This is probably not going to happen, but that would be a great benefit. But all of them, they don't give a shit. They all sitting around letting this happen. They don't give a fuck. We thought it was bad when they let him in, when they said, yeah, I guess we're just going to let him take this nomination and then we'll just move on from then. And then he wins. They just keep doubling down on him. And now they're just like, well, I guess, I don't know how else we're going to stay in power. I guess this is what we're going to have to do. And everybody's just, not just the Republicans, but all the people who vote Republican. Yeah, I guess this is it now. It's like, I would have voted for Obama for a third term, except Republican and with open carry. But it's been a while since we talked on here. I think we've covered a lot, Jackie. The phone call, Republicans shitting on the Constitution,
that's been
the
going
death
on
of democracy in this country.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know how you fix this. This is
it's broken. No, you can't. It's broken. I like to think in my lifetime, probably it's going to stay broken. Because Medal of Freedom of Honor, whatever you give Nunes, nobody going to want that from now past. Thank you anyway. No, he's ruined it. He has.
He ruined Medal of Freedom, and he's ruined. Nobody gives a shit. Like, I don't know what we expect. People, well, no, you have to campaign and you have to win. How about we don't do none of that shit, that boring shit, and we just take it and keep it? Well, no, you have to learn history and the Constitution. Look. I know that things have not always been great in this country, but for us white guys, it's been rolling along pretty steady. And now we see how fragile everybody else always knew that it was. Us white guys who don't like Trump. But there's plenty of white guys who like Trump are like, I think this still works. We just keep it rolling. Big wheels rolling, moving on. Honk, honk.
Well, we'll see how well it rolls if it's now I ain't saying they're going to win because I have no idea. It's tighter than hell in Georgia right now. These elections are tight as it can be. But Joe Biden took Georgia. Hence a phone call. So they may win. But can you imagine if Ossoff and the Reverend win? Good Lord Almighty. What's going to happen?
I don't know, but when you say Ossoff and the Reverend like that, it sounds like a TV show from the 70s that I should be watching on MeTV right now.
That sounds like a good title name. Yeah. Anything.
I hope that show takes place in Washington, D.C. Very shortly, but I don't know if it's going to or not. But yeah, nobody's going to believe they got it either.
Nobody's going to believe it. It's going to be right. What do you think Trump's going to say about that? If he, because they were saying, after this phone call come out today, he's supposed to be there tomorrow campaigning for him. And of course, I saw people on news. Well, I don't know if he's going to go now. Like, what do you mean you don't? Of course he's going to go. Why the hell wasn't he go? His perfect phone calls out there. He wants to he'll tell everybody about it. Now he can't wait. I hope I'm wrong. He's going to be hiding a lot more than he used to. I will say that. He's too mad to go anywhere. We know what he's doing now. He's calling people up and cussing them because he lost the election.
There's a Republican, Chip Roy, who today objected to seating his colleagues from Arizona, Georgia, Nevada, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, saying, well, if they're saying this election is fucked up, man, I don't see why they get to sit down here. That election must be fucked up too.
It's just, don't say it that way, but yeah, it's the same damn ballot that they're questioning, that they're upset about. And then how do they know that they're okay in it, though? It don't make a damn bit of sense.
It don't make a damn bit of sense. None of it does anymore. It's a crazy time, and we'll see what happens after this. It doesn't seem like it's going to be smooth sailing. I really believe that Joe Biden can have it all singing. I don't know if it'd be like Kumbaya or music that he likes, which I'm not really sure what it would be. The Orioles.
I don't know what he listens to.
I mean, they're good. I don't either. I'm not sure what do you think Biden sits around? I mean, like that old version of Biden would be like Loverboy, Queensryche, maybe. I don't think that's the Biden. This Biden, the current version of Biden in the popular culture seems more like an Artie Shaw type. Like you'd play music for him in the nursing home to try to bring some lucidity to for the rest of your visit. Just be like, there was a girl in a pink dress. It's the first time he's spoken it. So listen, I hope that he's listen, we need some healing. I know we also need some people to pay a price for shitting all over the Constitution.
I'm all for healing, but I tell you what, I like justice too. I'm for both.
And justice.
Huh?
Healing and justice.
Healing and justice. Ossoff and the Reverend.
You just said it. And Ossoff and the Reverend. And it's been a while since we didn't do one last week, but I guess we do need to talk quickly about the Nashville bombing, folks. That seemed to just come and go. It is weird how, he's white, and then that
goes away.
So puts a capper on the news coverage.
Well,
they blew the fuck out of a block.
Hey, they did.
In Nashville.
Thank the Lord. Lord knows what that could have done. So thank the Lord. I guess he did it on Christmas. Did it for attention and didn't actually want to take anybody's life. He still, a butthole. To hell with him. But I am.
Let me
thankful.
just say, it's hard to predict what's going to happen with a truck bomb.
Well, you're right. You're right about that.
I mean, best of intentions.
Down there. You don't know. Yeah. You don't know. You don't know anything about it, an RV bomb or whatever. Of course, the police don't know much about it either, because when they went out there, the girl, I guess this fella's girlfriend called the police up and said, go out there, he making bombs. Got them on the RV. They went out there and knocked on the door, and I guess nobody come after the door, so they went back. I think they went out there a couple of times, and, we didn't have a warrant. We can't just bust in an RV and start looking for bombs. I don't know about that. I think police every now and then seem to bust into places. I think I heard about that on the news every now and then, busting into places and just killing people. I don't know why you can't bust into a place and look for bombs.
Yeah, I don't think we want more busting into places by the police, but we also want less bombs, and we want less them killing people.
Yeah.
So, I don't have any of the answers. But I am a white guy, and I've been talking as if I did have the answers for nearly an hour on here. So that speaks. That dude should have just got a podcast.
Well, hopefully that would have taken care of it. Now, granted, I don't feel like blowing nothing up, and I don't know if this helps with that one way or the other. But sure, if that would have kept him from, blowing himself up, yeah, why not?
It is it is a lot like Trump. Hey, people been saying women, like if a black person had also tried to tell the police about this guy, I'm just assuming, people are like, hey, this is happening. And everybody's like, we tried we impeached him once. And then, a bomb goes off and blows up.
We went up there and knocked on the door, yeah.
Yeah. Suddenly, democracy and the Hooters is blown to hell. A good fondue restaurant, the Constitution. Yeah, people been trying to warn us for a long time.
Oh.
It's hard to listen when we got all these podcasts and hot takes to get out there. So.
Hey, everybody, thanks for still listening to us. This is Jackie, still on here.
It's Dunlap, also still on here. Wanting to tell y'all, hey, don't forget the part about Trump killing everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Because he messed up the coronavirus. Every time we talk about how awful he is in a phone call, whatever he got up to, them taking the insides of the machines out, all that crazy stuff he said on the hour-long phone call, we should also tie it back to the fact that hundreds of thousands of people are dead in America because of him.
Because of him, yes. So we know that. We just think it's important to remind ourselves and remind everybody the rollout of the vaccine. The reason it is going so terribly, terribly wrong is because this administration, more people will die because it'll take longer to get it. On and on. Pretty much all that's right at the White House's feet. Don't ever forget it.
Yep.
They did this. Would it have been bad? Sure, it would have been bad, but we would have done something. We would have done something when it gets bad. If you notice in other countries, sure, things going on good, then it gets bad. When things get bad, guess what? They do something. They say go back in quarantine. They say go do this, go do that. And most of the people do without complaining about freedom or a mask or having to stay home or what, everything. Also, most of those people are getting up to anywhere from $2,000 to stay home too. The government, does that to them. But besides all of that, just remember the reason we have, people dying every minute, every day. President Trump is directly responsible in his administration. Sure, Jared takes a little blame. Sure, Kushner, all of them.
Oh, there's a lot to go around.
Sure.
And we ain't saying no matter who was president, yes, any idiot who was president would have messed some stuff up. If it was, no matter who it was, or person, animal, object, they would have messed stuff up. But most everybody, everything, every animal in the world would have done a better job than President Trump. I would have done a better job than President Gordon Jump. President Gordon Jump, fuck.
Hey.
Please, President Gordon Jump. President Dunlap, high as hell, fucking shit up.
All right.
Numerous scandals. Also, much better job.
I would never in a million years say that you could have handled this coronavirus. I still don't think you could have, but you would not have purposely made it worse.
No.
I think it would have been bad.
I would have tried. I would have tried. I would have fucked up bad, and it would have been terrible. And people
wouldn't have actively made the situation, whatever it may be. Currently, it's a pandemic where it's wiping out people every day, and that's right. But whatever the situation, if we're lucky enough,
I can see it getting out of hand with me in charge.
Sure. But you wouldn't have made it worse where twice as many, 3 times as many people, 4 times, 10 times as many people, 100 times more people.
Not on purpose.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Folks, we got a Patreon. Times are hard, and we are not asking for money. And if you got money, give it to people who need it. There was a bombing in Nashville. There's 1 million people who are sick and unemployed. There are people in this world who need a lot. And if you want to give money to them, we are not going to stop you. We would encourage that. If you still want to give us some money, head over to Patreon. We're really bad at this. Head over to patreon.com/Red State Update. And over there for a mere $5 a month, you can get an extra 20 extra minutes with Jackie and Dunlap. That's every week, an extra 20 minutes.
Usually goes longer. And I ain't going to
guarantee. Usually goes longer.
Usually does, but can't guarantee that. It will definitely hit 20 minutes, I guarantee you that. That's a
Jackie guarantee. You can put that in the bank.
Yep, sure can. But we appreciate y'all helping us keep the computer going, makes things a little easier, roll a little easier to hold, and we appreciate everything you do. And but if you know somebody in need, take care of them first. Take care of family, take care of friends. Most importantly, take care of yourself.
Yep.
Keep it up. If you're still listening, you're still with us, and you're healthy, hopefully it's because you've been doing the right thing, and keep doing it. And hope to God maybe we'll get through this. We'll see. But not only do we need that helpful money that you give us to support us with, we also need local sponsors. And Lord knows a lot of local sponsors. We've lost quite a few of them that had to close up. Turns out most of them did open back up, but they didn't do that well either way. So it's not because of the COVID or anything like that. It's just because whatever they were offering, people didn't care about, because people are going places here anyway. They going worst in the world. Remember, worst in the world. But anyhow, I don't want to get on that road. We already did that. We did the disclaimer to remind everybody that the president has destroyed this country in so many different ways. I want to talk about my sponsor here today, and boy, goodness, am I excited about this. I'm so excited that I helped put up a little bit of money for this myself. So I give myself $25, and I also give myself an extra $105. And what?
You gave yourself an extra $105?
Well, did give it to me. The $25 go to this. The extra $105 took, it's just licensing and what you're allowed to play and what you're not. Just let me do my thing, all right? It costs a little bit, but if it's bringing goodness to the world, so be it. And what we got here, we'll bring it to you right now. It's Fancy Feast presents. Yes, our good friends, our good buddies over at Fancy Feast brings to you Ask Todd. That's right, Ask Todd. Everybody knows Todd over at Fancy Feast. He and I had some misunderstandings, but I tell you what, he's a nice young man, and I think he's doing the best he can in the world with what he's got to work with, like all of us. And He's doing pretty good. Now, like I said, like we may have had a misunderstanding, but I think nowadays, me and him, I call him a friend. I would. Not the longest or the oldest friend, but certainly a new friend. And that's something to have these days. I tell you, these days we're all separated. If you call someone a friend that you never really have seen face to face, except with lawyers present and being masked, you sure are lucky either way that you got a friend. So let's get started here. Fancy Face presents Ask Todd. So I tell you what, our first question come from Zimmy. And Zimmy, I read this and it did, I'm going to say right now, it touched my heart in all sorts of ways, in a happy way and in a concerned way and then in a sad way, but mostly happy. And I tell you what, Zimmy, once you hear what Todd's got to say, just take it in. Just don't judge it immediately. Just listen. That's all Todd is asking you to do, is keep your ears open and listen, and maybe you'll learn something, and it can make your life just a little bit better. And Lord knows we all need it to be just a little bit better these days. So here you go, Zimmy.
Pet and pet and pet and pet, rub and rub and rub.
It ain't your mama's fault that she's got allergies. You owe her an apology and a new turtle. Well, Zimmy, I hope you can take that advice to heart. Todd thinks that you need to hear the truth, and it needs to be said to you. And sometimes the truth's a little difficult to hear at first, but after you hear it more than a few times, it starts to sink in, and it does you some good. So I hope that does you good and your mama and everybody involved. Just keep on keeping on, keep your chin up, and just, when you need a little extra lift, you can play that again anytime you want to, and maybe it'll help you achieve what you're trying to achieve.
This is Todd giving this advice.
Well, he's the one that, it's his idea for me to give advice. I'm giving the advice, but he's the one that tells me to do it, So it's Fancy Face and Todd, he presents Ask Todd. That's just how we're doing it.
How many of these are you doing?
And a couple more or something. I ain't gonna try to do it all day or nothing. What, you got a problem with my damn sponsor again? I
just seems like Todd's taking advantage of you. But what do I know? Maybe I should write in and ask Todd. Go ahead. Don't let me stop you.
Listen, he needed some help one time, and we did it, and it helped him and his wife got back together. Then a friend of his needed some advice, and I was happy to give it. I'm not in a position where I can put my name on something and start a whole new thing. That's not me.
You do a podcast.
Well, this is different. It's the advice, column advice, whatever you call it, Atlanta or whatever. But this is Todd and Fancy Feast. Now, granted, I do have to. I ain't getting paid for it, and to change the recording, because I don't know nothing about recording. I have to say it on a phone, and somebody puts it in there and does it however they do it. And that was $105. But again, if that $105 goes to help people out, especially in this world, I don't mind doing it. Todd said I won't have to keep paying it either. Just, I think, the first couple of times. So then after that, there may be a little something for me, since it is me giving the advice, even though it's coming from Todd. So our next letter that I read, Geraldine, bless your heart. Bless your heart. You at least are acknowledging that there's an issue, so I got to give you credit where it's due. You know there's something wrong, and what do? You don't sit there and let it stew inside yourself. No, you don't. You reach out to somebody, and you have reached out to Todd, and I tell you what, here's what Todd's got to say about it.
Pet and pet and pet and pet, rub and rub and rub.
I ain't ever seen a garden hole worth putting up such a fuss over. You and April really need to work it out. So, Geraldine, hopefully that'll, I ain't saying to let, April listen to it as well, but Maybe it'd do her some good. But as long as you heard it, that's what counts. April didn't reach out to Todd. You did, and that's what we got to say, or Todd has to say. And I hope it'll do you some good.
$105.
It's that you take your voice, you put it on the phone. I don't know nothing about making music and songs and all that stuff. I mean, I've done it. But as far as the pushing the buttons and doing this and moving over there, I don't know how to do any of that. I wouldn't be able to do it.
How much money are you in to Todd for at this point? $2,200?
No.
All them songs you made with Decky?
He ain't saying I got to give it right now. I would love for her to be doing it. I'd love for Miss Gwen Daisy Lay to be able to sing some of this on here, but I can't afford her to do it, so I'm just talking it. And it is my advice, even though it's Todd's. So,
you'd probably have to make it rhyme too.
Well, I don't know how to. I was just told to. He said, Jackie, just tell the truth. Just tell the truth. Use what your experience in life. Just tell the truth and say that it's from me. And I said, well, I can do that. Now, this last one here, this person don't want to put the name in it. I wonder why. They feel like I don't need to say the name. Say, just refer to me, just K. Just call me K. Well, all right, K. That's what you want to be called on here. Then so be it. I'll call you that. Far be it from me to say what I know your name is. If you want to be K, then you be K. The advice going to be the same, though. Let me tell you. Use an initial, or use a full name. That don't make your advice any difference. So keep that in mind. So here you go. Okay, and take this with a grain of salt or take it to heart. However you want to do it. Here you go.
Pet and pet and pet and pet. Rub and rub and rub.
Listen here, Killian. I'd watch that talking behind people's backs. If you can't even tell the difference between two kinds of cat food, how you gonna give advice for Todd, huh? You tell me that. Well, there you go.
Why are you so mad at Killian for?
It's K. He said it won't be called K. He didn't say nothing about it.
You said Killian on the thing.
I might have said it on the thing, but here on the letter, I just kept it. If I said it, I said it. So be it. The advice is what it is. Maybe somebody needs to hear their full name if they're going to hear the advice.
Jeez, you just doxed Killian. So you and Killian are fighting over your best friend, Todd. I don't know why Killian wants to do advice. He's running Gravy Holics Anonymous.
Listen, you're the one saying all that. I didn't say nothing about fighting for Todd or anything like that. I think you jump into conclusions. What do you know?
Are you still a member of Gravy Holics Anonymous?
Well, at the moment, I'm not attending meetings, and that's just.
Did he ban you?
I didn't get banned. No, sir, you can't ban. Listen, with all that's going on with COVID and everything else, you really think somebody can ban somebody in this country? Hell no, they can't. They can't ban me. Only place you can get banned, that's on Twitter or whatever, and I ain't on there. So ban away. Do it all you want. Cut it out culture. What do they call it? Call it culture, whatever it is.
Well, somebody's jealous.
Well, ain't nobody jealous. Somebody's giving advice, and then somebody ain't.
Maybe Todd is taking up too much of your time, Jackie.
It ain't your business anyhow. You want to hear about it, you write me a letter like everybody else. I'll say.
Oh, now I can't talk to you unless I write you a letter.
This is from D. He wants to be known as D. Can't even say his whole damn name. Huh?
Big D.
All right.
What about, maybe you need to give Todd a break. Why not come over there? You and me go outside. We'll toss the old ball around.
Nope.
Have a heart-to-heart man talk.
We do this. That's all we need to do a week. We don't need to do any more than this. You're lucky you talk to me for a damn hour and however long it takes to do this and then the other one afterwards. And I ain't complaining. People give us $5. Appreciate it, but still,
How much Todd time is Killian getting? I mean...
And listen, that's between them two. I ain't got nothing to say about it. Well, I did have something to say about it, but I said a little while ago, and I ain't going to play it twice.
Plus, that was Todd's advice.
Well, technically, Yes and no. Yes, it is. So that's Fancy Feast presents Ask Todd. Hope we may do some more of these. It depends on, I'm cutting into my savings now, and ain't nobody working right now, so you got to be careful. So, but I think I probably can afford to do a few more of these before it turns around and money starts coming this way instead of going this way. So
as long as you're breaking even, you're fine. You just don't want to lose money.
I don't want to lose that money.
You lose more than $2,000.
Well, I wouldn't. You got to calculate it. You don't know how much it is.
Well, if you're saving your receipts.
Yeah.
In case Todd reimburses.
It's none of your damn business what I'm saving. If I am, I am. If I ain't, I ain't. Except, I don't need to hear you. I'm the one that gives Todd's advice, not you. Now, do your damn sponsor if you got one. I'm through.
I got a good sponsor this week, Jackie, that I think you're really going to like.
Yeah, right.
Folks, you probably, it's been a long time. There was the Christmas countdown episode of this show, and then a week, I think, went by between that and New Year's Day. And now here it is, January 3rd, the president's committing crimes on the phone again. And you may have forgotten my last couple sponsors, which was the long-lasting Revival Holiness Church.
Oh, yeah.
Which, if you remember, they had a big revival where they wouldn't let you wear masks, and a big hit. And then a sinkhole opened up underneath the church.
Big one, yeah.
Big sinkhole. And so people were going down there after Corovival was a big hit. If Jesus had wanted us sick, we'd done be dead is what the tagline was. Hashtag, if Jesus had wanted us sick, we'd done be dead. A big social media presence. And so after Corovival, the sinkhole opened up and they had Holevival, hashtag till Jesus takes us all. And people were going down there and you never knew which pew was going to plunge to the depths below. And then it got so popular, the sinkhole got bigger and bigger, and people were going down there, not even waiting for a surprise opening up of the sinkhole. They were just going down there to jump in. They ain't going to tell me I can't jump in no sinkhole, they'd say, and they'd just start running in the parking lot. Well, now most of the parking lot is gone, and some of the foothills surrounding the church. Holevival is still very popular. Lots of people down there. When there was part of the building was still standing, some of the Brother Winky Birch's kids. Was it Winky? Is it Winky Birch or is it Wink Birchie?
I don't know which one. I don't know.
I would say Winky Birch. One of them does insurance, and one of them is a holiness preacher.
Yeah, I can see how to get that mixed up. Yeah,
and they both got a bunch of kids, and they look almost the same. But one's Wink Birchie, and they also was in the same. They're around the same age, and they live next door to each other. And they both worked at Kroger when they was in school, and then they both got fired at the same time for stealing candy. They kind of like eat candy.
All right.
I don't know which is which, and they're not making it easy on us. But one of them, either Brother Wink Birchie or Brother Winky Birch, one of them's insurance, but he still goes by brother. Still very religious. It's the South. So one of them had the kids, either the Birchie or the Birch kids were up in the rafters, dropping shit on them. They had a bunch of old used junk they was trying to get rid of, rotary phones, baseball bats, cinder blocks. They'd haul all that shit up there in the rafters and drop them on people's heads and knock you into the holes. People pushing each other in the holes. I mean, this is not just about Jesus and God. No, it's about America and freedom. And in America, you can't tell somebody that you can't push somebody in a hole at church. Yeah. It's just the Constitution.
That if you follow the law or you don't. Yeah.
And so there was also all these poisonous gases that would come up from the hole that masks filtered out, but you can't wear a mask in the church. I mean, that's the one thing they can tell you that you can't do is wear a mask. I mean, you could wear a mask, but they will snatch it off your face. So again, freedom comes into play, personal choice. And, our face is our choice. And so you could get pushed into a hole. A lot of people went into the hole because it's America. And a lot of people went into the hole. America, hashtag, a lot of people went into the hole. Also, they were dragged down into the hole, a lot of these people, by the night weasels, which came up out of the hole, also made of shadow and fang long like a slinky, tall as an almond dog, claws clattering around the walls and ceiling as they circle their faces, claiming the light. Save for the 3 red glowing eyes that never stop scanning for your neck. Again, this is all old news. Hole Bible. They had it. They changed the name. The sign fell in the hole, but before it fell in the hole, they changed the name to Holiness Church, Holey. Y'all all remember this. It's just a recap. There's not much there except hole now. It's almost all hole.
Well,
you can still go down there and jump in it.
Get those things coming out of it still at night, though, don't it?
Oh, yeah, they patrol the area.
Yeah, those things, like some of that sounds almost feasible. If you wore a mask again, they'd take it off of you. But those things at night, no, sir, I ain't going down there. And it ain't because I ain't religious. I love the Lord as much as anybody, but I don't like nightweed, whatever it is.
Night weasels.
Night weasels, no.
No, and it's almost like they have a hole quota of people they need to drag down into the hole. If you jump into it, it does not fulfill their quota. They have to drag people who don't want to jump into the hole into the hole. And they have been doing a great job of it. But because it's America, as the night weasel drags you into the hole, a lot of people say, I wanted to jump down here anyway. Some people also don't believe that it's real. They say, oh, none of this is real. It's all fake. It's all just a big conspiracy, a big fake conspiracy. And so as they're plummeting head over heels down into the depths of the sinkhole, they're either saying, yes, this is what I wanted the whole time, or they're denying that it's happened. But it's America, and these are the things that you get to do in America. I think if you remember last time we talked about, Jackie, do you remember that store that had all the bells and whistles?
Oh, yeah.
The bells and whistles store. Oh, I did find out they did have snake bells, but it was different kinds.
All right.
A different kind of snake bells.
Yeah, not the original official kind.
No, this is something different.
All right.
It doesn't matter. That store is no longer there. Empty storefront. A sinkhole opened up over there, between the Buy and Smoke and Dippy's Pizza Hand. And what has happened is that a lot of people think that the people going in the hole over at the Long Lasting Revival Holiness Church were coming out of here at the other sinkhole, the First Holiness Church. Which also basically all the holiness churches are digging their own holes for you to jump into around here. If they don't have a sinkhole opening up like these two, they're just digging a hole. They're getting they're renting a tractor. They're just getting shovels, depending on how much money they got, because it's getting to where around here, if you go to church, there needs to be a hole for you. It's just, things change. I remember when I was a kid, you dressed up for church. Now you go in jeans. Now you go jump in a hole. It's just different. It's just a generational change. Anyway, my sponsor this week is Dippy's Pizza Hand. If you have lost someone to the sinkhole, come check the back room at Dippy's, because they may be there. Because a lot of people have been popping up out of the other end of the sinkhole, and they will not go back into the sinkhole because of the horrors they endured. And they won't leave the storeroom of Dippy's Pizza Hand because they think they're in heaven. Because Dippy's Pizza Hand, they got all them high teenagers that work there, but they make them dress up like the nativity.
Oh, yeah.
During Christmas time.
Yeah, and nativity scene. Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
So people jump in the hole, the church hole, the holiness hole, and they think they're going to heaven, and then they wind up at Dippy's Pizza Hand. But, everybody's in a robe with a beard, or they dress like an angel or a donkey or a baby Jesus, and they go, oh, heaven.
Yeah.
And they think it's a trick. Like when Jacob or Jason or Jaron or Jared or JC or any of the kids that work there tell them, y'all got to get out of here. We don't have room to put the cheese, and this is where we smoke dope. They think it's a trick. They think I have to prove that I'm worthy to stay in heaven because, everybody's out to get you all the time these days. People making a lot of money Christian-wise with this. Everybody's out to get you. So why would it be different in heaven? Maybe they get to heaven, they thought, oh, I thought I was going to get to rest, but still everything's a trick. Damn shepherd trying to trick me out of heaven, which honestly seems like a storeroom. But maybe I have to prove myself to get that gold straight. So these kids are at their wits' end, and honestly, it's really ruining their high. So come on down to Dippy's Pizza Hand. Start looking for your friend that may, or loved one, or family member that may have jumped in or been pushed into or fallen accidentally into the sinkhole at the Long Lasting Revival Holiness Church. Get on down there. Also, they got 2 for one topping. Thursday evenings, and then after ball games, if Oakland wins, they give you a free topping. But you got to keep track of the ball game schedule. I don't even know if they're playing right now. They shouldn't be.
Well, hell no, not right now.
Not right now.